probably the most influential person in my life, and I've learned the most from her. And she's always been there, and I think her calling was to raise 4 girls, hopefully to be as beautiful as she. My oldest sister is 8.5 years older than I am, and I guess I knew her a little bit growing up, but it was only as much as a younger sister, 8.5 years, can know somebody. I just sort of sat back and watched in fascination, and she got married right as I was setting out on my puberty years. And so I sort of had a brother right there from the beginning, too, with my first brother-in-law. I shared a bathroom with my next sister, Mimi. And so my 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade years were filled with nights of going in and talking to her and hearing her dreams and wishing I was 6.5 years older. And then my parents waited a while and had my sister that I'm the closest to in age and probably at heart, and that's Carol. Carol never went through the awkward gangly years. I kind of suffered through both of our shares. And looking through family albums, she always thought, God, Amy, look how ugly you were. We've really grown up together. I think I've had I guess there's advantages in every age, but by the time I came around, I mean, everybody was here. And I feel like, you know, like I've grown up in this house, and I had an immediate audience for my jokes, and people there right from the very beginning to make me feel loved and special. And I feel like that's so much of what's made me be able to be vulnerable now on stage, because, you know, I grew up not with an audience that was distant, but just being accepted. I don't even think about getting on stage now and having people not love me, because I've just felt loved from the very beginning. If you want to sing along, join us. From the hustle of the world and its ways, and I love to live on worshiping with the Lord. And I'd love to stand on a mountain, 'cause I love to feel my spirit soar. But I've got to come down from the mountaintop to the people in the valley below. They'll never know that they can go to the mountain of the Lord. No, they'll never know that they can go to the mountain of the Lord. I was doing an interview with a Christian paper today, and they said, Amy, how do you keep yourself humble? I thought, humble? All I have to do is look at me, you know? I mean, it's humbling to just be on this inside looking out. And it's funny to laugh at those things. You know, they're funny on stage. They're not quite as funny when you're alone in your room at night, you know, embarrassed to tears. But I think as we get older, it's harder to find things about us to laugh about. Everything seems much more serious. And I know for me, something that became harder and harder to deal with was the fact that I didn't know who Amy Grant was. And I was so confused by records and songbooks and stuff, and thinking, I'm never going to measure up to that girl. And you know, it's funny, in the last year, something has changed inside of me. And I think it isn't so much what's happening to me, except for as much as it is finally taking my eyes off me and putting them on the Lord and recognizing Him for who He is. And now I can trust Him for who I am supposed to be. And if that's what you need to do tonight, if you've just looked in so many times, the Imperials have the new song out on their Priority album, and all I remember is this guy comes to Jesus and he said, you know, I'm tired of this kind of life. And Jesus said, we're starting over. No more looking inside, because the answers aren't in you. And I've looked for years and years for the answers inside of me, but they're not there in the Lord Jesus. And so let's just trust Him for who we're supposed to be.